make a mess.
Welcome to Still a Hot Mess, where we ask the question, is self-help helping? Every episode we discuss, debate, and often diss an aspect of the self-improvement movement.
Drawing from our own experiences and talking with personal growth experts, we want to know, is it all too much? Has it gone too far? Is it making us even more neurotic? Is this self-help or self-help?
You make a mess of me. You make a mess.
I don't feel great today.
No,
I have
you
a little-
don't. And you know what?
A little sniffle.
And this is what I've been urging you to do for a long time, is
that?
to focus on self-care. By way of getting more sleep. I just think you just run yourself ragged, day in and day out, and then you refuse. You just refuse. You're addicted to staying up late.
No,
You're
I'm
not getting your
addicted
sleep.
to life. I will sleep when I die.
Okay,
I have things to do.
But in the meantime, Fanson, you are not doing yourself any favors, like in terms of your health.
Well, it's not
you
like
gotta
I'm
go,
sick all the time.
You gotta go to bed, girl. You're not getting your sleep. You're not getting your sleep.
I'll put it this way. Put it this way. I did go to sleep. I stayed up and I watched Fleabag. Okay, that's what happened last night. It's not like I was out partying. Okay, I was with Kate Davis. I don't know if anybody knows her. I don't know. It's irrelevant right now. But if you knew her, you'd understand.
Yeah, that
Okay.
does mean something
It
to
does.
some people.
And at katedavis.com. What is she? Is
.ca.
she at
She's a
katedavis-
.ca.
Look her up. So anyway, so she was like, you have to watch Fleabag. Enough is enough. And we did. I was up till 2, but I got home, could have gone to bed, woke up, no problem. I would have been fine. I don't need that much sleep. But my friggin' cat jumped up on the bed and scared the shit out of me 4 times last night.
Okay, all right, yeah. The shitty cat is shitty.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But like, so you go to bed at 2?
Yeah, that would have been fine if I had an uninterrupted sleep.
Okay, but 4 or 5 hours of sleep is
5
not enough,
hours of
Fanson.
solid sleep is great as long as I'm not doing 5 hours consistently. Sometimes I get a little more, sometimes I get a little less.
But I'm saying that it's going to catch up to you.
I think interrupted sleep is worse than 4 or 5 hours of like hard REM sleep.
Okay, well, the reason I'm up your ass about your sleep patterns is
Yeah,
because
you are up my ass.
I am good and hard.
All right.
Is because today's topic
Yeah.
is self-care.
Right.
You know?
Self-care. I
We-
love that term, self-care.
Well, it's hot. It's one of the hottest self-help
Didn't we used to just call that
topics.
taking care of yourself? Why is it self-care now? It was like take care of yourself, R&R,
Oh,
be good to yourself.
R&R.
Remember R&R?
Oh, that's like right out of the 70s
Yeah.
and 80s.
Yeah.
Get
I'm just
some
gonna get a little
R&R.
Yeah.
But I think there was back then this idea of R&R. There was a little bit of like, oh, so you're just gonna like go fuck off for a little while and hide and rest and whatever.
Sure.
But there was
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of connotation to like it was kind of
sexy
like
time?
I don't know if it was sexy time, but I think it was kind of like secret lazy time. Like you've worked hard enough that you're gonna get some R&R now.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, it's
so-
how you interpret R&R, and some people might interpret self-care differently also. Not everybody, one person's self-care is not, may differ from someone else's self-care. Let's be honest.
I just think R&R, there was a little bit of a I don't know, an underground nature to it. It was like I'm gonna go and get some R&R. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Right, because
like,
at that time, maybe we were like, oh, you're not really allowed to do that.
yeah, I think there was guilt attached to it, a little bit of shame, and now it's like self-care.
Right.
Yeah,
Look at me.
yeah, I'm self-caring.
Yeah, you're not even allowed to say taking care of yourself because that means something else now. If you're taking care of yourself, that's like a little R&R. Isn't it? You're taking care of yourself. That's the first thing I think of is
Wow,
you
how
just took
have we
care of
taken
yourself
our self-care
into
episode?
masturbation.
Yeah, okay,
But
that was,
might be your way.
oh, that could definitely be classified as self-care.
Sure.
Because now it's anything,
Sure.
right? It's
But
like
taking care of yourself to me sounds more like
Okay.
masturbation than self-care. Self-care is like fuck off.
well, I think we're just loud and proud about it.
Yeah.
Right. So what's interesting is I think we can thank the millennials for this movement.
For their self-care pom-poms.
I think so. Like, okay, this generation may have an amazing sense of entitlement, but I do believe they are doing a fucking bang up job at ridding themselves of guilt. Right? Like we Gen Xers or like we boomers, we sit down for a half an hour, we hate ourselves, right? But now, they'll lie around for 10 hours watching Netflix because self-care.
Self-care.
You got it. So it's like, I think they're the first generation that were fed the message that R&R was good for you. It was necessary. It's a priority in terms of your health and wellness. And yeah, they're leading the way of guilt-free living.
Sure.
Whereas we secretly
living,
went and got R&R.
They might be looking at it in terms of guilt-free living, but aren't they also looking at, care in an abundant sort of ways, like the planet? In an abundance of ways. I don't know. I've got a little cold today, but it's like, let's care.
Oh, that's true.
Let's extend ourselves. Are they entitled and extending themselves? Like, how am I confused over millennials? Because I have two. My boys, my sons are 21 and 25. They're awesome. They are awesome.
I think their level of consciousness,
more so than when we were kids.
Oh,
or
God.
does every generation say that? And maybe that's the point.
like, there's a millennial at the gym and she's like, oh yeah, when I'm older, I'm going to be broken because, how I've been working out. And I said, I wouldn't have even had that level of awareness when I was your age that it was going to lead to, whatever joint problems later on or like,
right, yeah.
Having knee issues. And she knows, like she already knows. I don't know.
Why
It's
do
just
they
kinda-
know? Because we have an abundance of information.
Yeah,
at our fingertips all the time.
Yeah, we did not grow up with the internet. But anyway, it's just interesting with the millennials leading the way and really just owning the self-care movement. We have moved beyond like it being I'm getting a massage or a mani-pedi. Fuck, now it's anything.
Yeah.
Like it really are. We are now just deciding that anything in terms of
Anything that's not work.
yeah, anything that I don't know fills us up, right? Is self-care.
Right.
Like I really do think if you ask millennials, they do feel entitled to their Netflix time. It's like, oh, that is my self-care time. Where we
Netflix is a freaking job.
Well, I mean, that's a whole other issue.
Come on.
Trying to keep up with the shows. I mean,
with the shows.
That's a big job. But anyway, they're so good at it that that's their downtime. But yeah.
But what about, is downtime self-care? Is self-care downtime?
I think rest is a big part of self-care, but there is no more guilt. I think that's the most amazing thing. This is a part of the self-improvement movement that I think I don't have much criticism over or criticism of. I guess that's the proper way to say that.
Yeah.
I really don't.
We're just learning how to speak English today.
Yeah.
This is our first conversation of the day, so
That's true. You really are the first person I've talked to.
yeah. So it's we're a little
That's
rusty.
interesting.
Yeah, you got to get the.
I mean, this
juices
is the
flowing.
afternoon. You would have thought I would
Have
have.
your first conversation.
I mean, I think I mumbled something at the gym today, but like not anything like this. This is pretty in depth.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This is full blown talking.
And why did
Real
I go to the gym?
sentences.
Why did I? Self-care.
Self-care. Okay, well, all right.
Yeah.
I get that there's no guilt associated with self-care now.
Yeah, I think that's the essence of the movement.
Sure, but I won't self-care at the expense of others. This is what I'm talking about. Like, sorry, self-care? No, like there's still stuff to do. There's people to care about also, and that idea of like me, that kind of bothers me. And I'm wondering if this no guilt self-care is a little bit associated with like, it's all about you, isn't it? Like my concern is obviously in terms of have we gone too far, right? Self-improvement, whatever it might be, or simply by telling people they need something, do they begin to need it? Like if you never take a break in your life, then chances are you can become overwhelmed, stressed out, and increased anxiety, all that kind of stuff. But if you decide you haven't self-cared enough, and self-care is always like pizza, you might need to ease off the self-care if you're also avoiding the gym.
Oh yeah, no, that thought is true. I mean, really, yeah, it's true. Ordering pizza for dinner and knocking back a bottle of red wine, is self-care now.
Maybe your self-care should be a steady workout regime.
Mm-hmm. I know
Could be for some people.
Yeah, there's like the health and wellness self-care, and then there's the self-indulgent version of self-care.
Yeah. And it's all in the interpretation.
And the thing is like we've lived with so much guilt over, ordering in dinner. Like my mother never does that because she grew up thinking that means you're lazy.
Right.
So I like the leeway. I like that we're encouraged to just go, fuck it. Just going to do this tonight because that's what I really want. It is like pure, authentic living. But I get what you're saying too. It's like, oh, so now just, lying in bed eating chicken wings.
Yeah.
Maybe
not the best place to eat them, but like float your boat, man. That's fine.
If you're really tired, which you are,
I'm tired.
I could see you eating chicken wings in bed today.
I would do it.
But you know what I mean? Yeah. So I see your point. It's like, okay, that's not going to culminate to, something that's going to contribute to your best life. That's not going to, help you with your health. So really, can we really can we put care in there? Might be self.
I don't know. Like, exactly. And
for
some people, self-care might be just getting their pap smear once a year. Some people might consider a trip to the dentist to be self-care, where someone else, and sort of what I think we're referring to is this idea of self-care is like, how else can I take care of myself today? And then on top of that, which is part of what we talk about here, is, do we need that? Do we really need that? Like, do something nice for yourself every day. And what about taking care of others? Isn't that the real source of joy?
I think you've made a good point that making a difference in people's lives is, I think a big contributor to what would be considered long-term happiness, right? I mean, there's the big, super high that you get from accomplishment, but the sustained happiness does come from making a contribution. Making the world a better place. So taking time to do that could be called self-care. I think it's like so many different things now. And you're making a good point when you're just saying, going to the dentist. That's true. I mean, you ignore your teeth. That's not good. You're not caring for your mouth, your health.
Or you're not caring about other people because you've probably got some halitosis. Yeah.
But yeah, like it's like putting up boundaries.
Right.
Which
you're a big one for that.
I'm on that train.
You've changed.
No, but putting up boundaries meaning like, maybe ending a toxic relationship.
Yes.
Whether it's romantic or not.
Are we okay?
Like
Are we all right?
We're
okay?
good.
Are you trying to tell me something? It would be cruel to do that on the air, like it would be. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So, Fanson, this is our last episode because why? Self-care.
Toxicity. Not here.
No, yeah. Like I ended a 20-year friendship. I don't think it happened in the age of self-care that I would have called it that.
Right.
But I definitely was like, yeah, this is not good for me, and I'm gonna get out. And now I see, that's
so
what we would consider now self-care.
Self-care, doing the right thing. Like
being true to yourself,
just
right?
A big umbrella statement
God, yeah.
for like everything you do that's not bad for you.
Yeah, I think we can sum it up by saying, it's like following your heart, listening to that little inner voice rather than, getting messed up with your ego.
Yeah.
And doing things that bring you joy. Like I would say time in nature. Like you're not getting anything done there looking at the trees. You're not. Nope. So that's not productive time. So that's self-care.
Self-care? Can you have too much self-care?
I think if you're lying there eating chicken wings in bed, watching Netflix, like day in and day out.
You keep saying that like I'm doing that.
I think you've done that at least once. I don't know. I'm not believing this is a new concept to you. No, but yeah, you're right. You're right.
I do like chicken wings.
You make
That's
a
not very self-care of me.
You do love chicken wings.
I do. I do. And they used to be like food that it was like scraps. Like people wouldn't eat chicken wings. Like it was like, don't eat that. That's garbage food. And now they're a delicacy almost. Like you could pay like up to $30 for a pound of chicken wings.
They've definitely gone high end. Oh yeah, I was in Ottawa this past weekend doing comedy shows, and we went to our hotel bar after the one show, and we got some really nice chicken wings.
Sure, gourmet chicken wings.
And I thought, fuck it, self-care. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Right? And so you could keep going on those chicken wings.
That's
Is
true.
that too much self-care? Like, it depends what you consider to be the thing that's going to make you feel good, or is it the thing that's going to be the best for your health? Is it the thing that's going to fill you up creatively? Like, there are a lot of options.
I think I think you're making a good point in the way it's like, oh, this could be good in the moment.
Yes.
But let's play the long game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, humans, we don't do a lot of that. We don't go,
No.
what does this look like? Exaggerated, exemplified, or projected over a certain period of time.
yeah, like, what we do once in a while doesn't make a difference. What we do often,
Yeah.
whether it's negative or positive, that's going to.
Well, but this is part of the self-improvement movement that bothers me, right? And this is why we're here. This is why we're talking about this stuff, because there are so many things that we're supposed to be doing
Yep.
or that we have the option of doing. I guess they're all still options. They're just a bunch of people saying, I did this, it worked for me.
Yep.
Right? But then all of a sudden it's like, well, how you live every day is how you build your life and what your future is going to look like, right? That idea of, what you do today, the seed you plant today becomes that tree tomorrow. So the problem is keeping up with all this stuff in your daily life. Like, there are 24 hours. We started this with Kelly Fanson, get some sleep. And I'm like, I don't have enough time to sleep because I'm trying to fucking self-care. Like, how am I supposed to fit all this self-improvement shit into my life? Or just maybe.
Well, yeah, after
it's
you've
all about sleep.
meditated and gone to yoga class and done your affirmations.
Yep.
Then you got to lie there in bed eating chicken wings.
Yeah.
Because self-care.
Sure.
No, it's true. It is overwhelming, isn't it?
Yep.
This is the part of the self-improvement movement that can actually cause anxiety. It cause actually, more stress than you necessarily want to deal with.
Yeah.
Is this like, oh, right. After, I put the kids to bed and, get the, send the emails for work and tidy up the house and, pay the bills. Oh, right. Self-care.
Right.
Right. Make sure I check that one off the list, as much as anything else on the list, oh, right. Have I taken time for myself? Damn it. I didn't. I hate myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like that we have messaging that has shifted away from this idea of, is your life in balance? Because we've talked about this in previous episodes, this idea that we're equally dispersing our time, nurturing all aspects of our lives. Okay, that's anxiety inducing. I just like now that we're just hearing this message of, hey, are you just doing something for yourself? And I know it can be overwhelming because it's another thing to do, but I don't know. This is one I like. This is definitely one that I like more than dislike.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think self-care, are we saying that, do people not know how to take care of themselves? Or are we saying just make time for it? Do people need to be taught how to do that?
I think this is a movement that's come from taking a look at our parents, even our grandparents, who, productivity was a virtue. There was a lot of shame. There was a lot of guilt for resting, for, taking a vacation. Vacations were a little bit of a, dirty secret.
A luxury.
A real luxury. Or just anything,
Are we just becoming really just
I just don't think we want to be that stressed out generation. I know.
Does that make us snowflakes or whatever people call it? Does that make us?
Oh, Fanson, let's be very clear. The fact that we are involving ourselves in self-improvement, that's how good we got it.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
we have everything we need. So now we are obsessing about how we can
care for ourselves even more. And I can see that. I can understand like how privileged we are.
It is such a sign
and to
of
be
privilege.
able to do that. Why not? Why not take care of yourself? Life doesn't have to be suffering, or you can ease your suffering. And here are the tools or the options to do that. I get it. But I'm also like, and there's work to be done here.
Yeah, I get it. I think, I mean, really, maybe if someone, someone in Africa listens to this podcast, like they just be like, well, isn't that amazing for you?
Yeah, good for
that
you.
You're trying to like, draw the line somewhere and, take care of you.
You sit there, you have your Netflix, you have your chicken wings or whatever the hell, right?
I'll
you
just
do
be over
all that, but we're going to try and build society. We're going to try and come up with like, you think people who are like making things to make our lives better are really indulging much in all this stuff we're talking about?
Yeah,
like, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean, this couldn't ooze more white privilege if it tried.
Yeah.
No, it's a little embarrassing.
I don't know if it's white privilege or just now societal privilege. Societal privilege. Let's call it that. Where you are, where you live, how life exists there. That is a privilege. And we all share this privilege in varying degrees. And how much self-care you get might be a result of more and more and more privilege.
Yeah. We'll call it maybe first world privilege. I mean, the fact that we aren't fighting for our lives.
Right.
And, we aren't just trying to survive every day. Now we have to turn our attention to, am I getting enough me time?
More me.
Yeah.
It just becomes more me. And, if you really like the problem for me is that like there are very real issues going on in the world. And we actually, it seems like, let's say just collectively, like this doesn't apply to everybody. I don't like generalizations, but we don't want to deal with everything. There's so many things. We're told so much. We read so much, and it's like, it's overwhelming. And what happens is there's a shutdown, right?
Yep.
Or there's a complacency. The complacency comes from maybe some sort of like helplessness and an anger about this is the way it is. But then it's a complacency because it's like, there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to go watch Netflix. Great. Be entertained. I have no problem with that. Listen to this podcast. Do whatever that makes you, gives you a timeout from the stresses of the world. But there is work to be done. That I keep coming back to that. Like, you could go out and find something to do to help. And we don't maybe need to mess around with like, have you read the right self-help book to make yourself feel better? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good point. You're actually looking for balance then in between self-involvement and
you're on the right track. I like what you're saying.
Like,
you say it better than I do.
Well, I usually do.
I know.
But yeah, it is. It's a balance of self-involvement and then also recognition of why you're here, having this life, and that is to make a contribution.
Yeah. Do you think Greta Thunberg is
Greta.
Do you think she's going, how am I going to care about myself today? She is absolutely caring about the planet and making a difference. And you don't think that like,
oh, I mean, she's definitely watching Netflix too.
You think?
Yeah. She's 16 anyway.
Okay.
But she is definitely
What's she watching? I want to know what she's watching.
What
if
is
anybody
Greta
knows Greta,
watching?
if you're listening, could you tell me what you're watching on Netflix?
I mean, I think it's fair to say that she's watching the nature shows.
It's totally fair to say she can watch whatever she wants.
She's gonna
go on, hero.
She's going to be excited when Disney comes out and has all those educational nature science shows.
Yeah,
I won't probably watch many because that's just not my jam. But
right.
I mean, it might be good for me to do that. Listen, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to balance my Netflix with the Disney stuff.
Okay, that's a big step.
And watching things about the world.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So how do we feel? Where are we with self-care?
What do you do? What do you do? Like, what do you do? I mean, you don't sleep. So that is not something you can say that you...
I mean, clearly I sleep.
I mean, you don't sleep enough.
I may not sleep enough, but I also feel like I do things for myself that contribute to my health and well-being. You know, I eat well, I work out, I meditate. For me, it's active sitting. It's not just breathing. But you know, I play sports.
Yeah.
I do all that stuff. So I feel
Yeah,
like
I think we self-care very similarly.
I talk to people who I care about. I extend, you know, my myself to people in ways that I
and you're
can.
social.
I'm social.
You can be social.
I can be social.
We're very social.
We are
We
social.
social together.
And part of my social is sometimes where I lack the self-care because I can be a little too social, if you know what I
I have
mean.
no idea what you're talking
And
about.
the next morning I'm like, well, that was a very social evening.
I feel like shit. That wasn't self-care. Well, not those last shots anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So what about you? What's your
Yeah.
self-care regime?
I think-
or practices?
Yeah. I sometimes do just like hide from the world and just be alone.
Is that
I
when
think that is important.
Boundaries Susan shows up?
Boundary Susan shows up.
Yeah.
You know, like last night, you guys texted me and, hey, do you want to come over? And I'm like, no, I'm just in the middle of making dinner and I kind of just wanted to be alone tonight. So for me, it was like, I've just been in Ottawa doing my shows and I'm like, yeah, I kind of just need to retreat. I mean,
It was funny actually because we texted you
Yeah.
and said we want to watch the debate and or the debate, not the plural, just the debate, and you know, are you in? And you were like, I'm actually just cooking dinner. Won't be enough for 3.
Well, I wanted to be honest though.
I just want to let that land with people who are listening. It won't be enough for 3, and that was it. And Kate and I looked at each
Because
other.
you said you
and
were
we
hungry.
we were like, wow. That's like, there's no like, oh, sorry guys, but bring your own food. Come on by. Like nothing, right? So, okay. All right. And then, so I decided that I would text you and say, just to be a shit, why don't you come have dinner with us? Right?
I think you
We
said
got
something
plenty.
about not pestering. And I'm like, no, pretty sure you're
Sorry,
pestering.
don't want to pester.
No, sure don't. But I'm going to anyway.
But,
No,
you know,
that's funny.
just in case you wanted to join in. That's all.
No, I appreciated that. But for me, yeah, I think I don't take alone time very often. But I think when I do, I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to be alone tonight.
Where we felt you were self-caring at the expense of our fun.
Oh, believe me, this is not the first time that's happened. Yeah. I don't know. I love, like my curling starts this week, tomorrow night.
Wow.
That's self-care.
Great.
You know,
That
like
is self-care.
I'm not
doing things you love.
Yeah, like I'm not making a contribution to the world there. Not
Well,
in any way.
Indirectly, you might be.
Well-
and that's sort of the point, right? If you're doing something good for yourself, then that will hopefully, like a butterfly flaps its wings, it's going to spread love and joy.
Well,
through you.
you know, you could go all spiritual right now and say that when I do things like that, it does help me, you know, well, be a light unto the darkness, Vanson.
You might be a better partner, a better friend.
Yeah, I think it is easier to, be a bright light in this world when you do take time for the things that bring you joy. I mean, I
Yes.
think it is a spiritual practice.
Yeah.
Self-care. I do think.
Self-care is just, it's a big
Wow.
time statement, movement. What is it? What do you call it? It's a concept. What is it? It's just
Yeah, it is.
self-care.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah, it is a movement though. It's just so funny. Like you see the memes on Facebook, like
Yeah.
about like this is I mean, I really see this as, I don't know if this sounds dated, but it's like a catchphrase.
Okay.
What do we call that now? Not a buzzword.
God, I don't know.
No.
Everything's changing. so
Right. There's probably definitely a cooler way to say this, but
you
I
just said
don't
catchphrase.
catchphrase, right? Like
I feel like that's totally fine. I'm just faking laughing at you.
Yeah, I think everybody knows what I'm getting at.
We get
Well,
it.
if you're middle aged, you do.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah,
You don't think 20-year-olds know what catchphrase is?
was that a game show catchphrase?
Oh, I
Maybe.
don't know.
Um,
maybe that's the thing you put on your head, on your phone. You put it up to your forehead. Is that catchphrase?
I think it
Headspace.
might be.
What is that?
Headspace.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, we're getting down to the big issues
Oh,
now.
here we go.
Anyway, that's
Going down the rabbit hole.
that's been a good talk there about
Well,
the
listen,
self-care.
is there
it time?
anything that we want people to know about self-care, or have we covered it?
I'm just looking now here at my notes, and I feel like we have we've covered everything we wanted to talk about. So maybe it is that magical time.
It's time for
Name That Guru. Yes, it's that time when we quote 3 self-help authors, leaders, and we try to guess who the hell
said that.
Said that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now,
And
did you
because
go with
you're the junkie? You're supposed to get them right, and
Well, there is a little bit of pressure.
it's a miracle if I do.
feel every day when we do this.
What we really want is people who are listening. We want our listeners to play along. Like if you're at home or you're in the car, and we ask, we pull up a quote. See how fast you can get. See if you can beat us.
Yeah.
Because it's an easy target.
easy to do that. Now, are your quotes self-care related?
No, they're just random.
Random.
You go ahead. You start.
No surprise. Okay, now I actually don't know how to say this guy's name. I've
Oh.
given you a hint.
Wow. Okay. Jeez.
Wow. Okay.
So stressful for me. Go for it.
And I'm not sure if it's on our master list,
Oh.
but he wrote a very famous self-help book.
Okay, let's go.
I might give you the title.
Well, yeah.
Because if you can name the guy who wrote this book, that's good enough.
Okay.
When you say yes to others, make sure you are not.
Sure.
Yes, that's how he says it. When you say yes to others, make sure you are not saying no to yourself. That's very self-care. All right. So this guy, okay, and it's okay if you don't know.
Sometimes it's so inappropriate. Some things that pop into my head.
All right, keep it clean, Fanson.
Okay.
All right, you've already talked about masturbation in this episode. I mean, how
good.
How you managed to do that?
It's
a gift. All right,
Anyway.
so this guy.
Yeah.
Now you can Google him if you want.
Okay. Isn't that cheating?
It is.
All right.
He wrote The Alchemist.
Oh,
but how do you say it? Paolo Coelho, Marco Polo. Who knows? Who knows how the fuck to say his name?
I don't know how to say his name.
But I love the book.
So try to do it phonetically.
Paolo Coelho. Like, that is terrible. I don't even know how to say this guy's name.
It's almost offensive.
Listen, there's a junkie out there bigger than me, rolling
shame.
her or his eyes.
Yeah. Okay, we got to move on.
Yeah.
All right, because we got to go. Can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be?
That sounds like Elizabeth Lesser.
You're wrong.
I hate myself.
Should I tell you? Anybody out there know? Call in. Hello, caller.
What's the oh God, why do I forget her name sometimes? It's the personal coach.
You got 3 seconds. 3.
It's fine.
2. 1. Danielle Laporte. That's not who you were
Our
thinking.
Canadian.
Yeah, our Canadian.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay, go for it.
Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love.
Oprah.
Brene Brown.
Oh, hey, Brene.
Yeah.
We
She gets
love
in a
you.
lot. She gets in a lot.
She sure does.
I think that she is one of them that we agree on, that like we think she's doing.
I'm all good with Brene.
You're all good with Brene.
You know why? Because I got to make this quick, but when I saw her stuff on vulnerability, when I saw her TED Talk, it was at a time when I needed it so bad. And it like opened my mind. So I'm a fan, and I will be, and I continue to be. I love her earrings.
I like how she needs bigger earrings.
Yeah.
I just like how real she is. Like there is no like pretending that she's got it all figured out. I like it.
Like Oprah. Okay. What? What did I just say?
Wow.
That's not. I don't
You
mean
know?
it quite like that. I'm such an asshole.
You're not talking to yourself like you would to someone you love.
No, I'm
when
not.
you say that.
No.
So you want to
But
maybe.
I'm also.
You
You
might
know
want to
what?
listen to Brene Brown.
But what I'm doing is it's straight talk. It's calling myself out. It's
Yeah.
no,
you're.
and that's
hey,
good.
listen. You got accountability.
Straight up. Is it yours? Your turn or mine?
No, it's yours.
Oh,
We're
okay.
waiting for a quote here.
All right. So okay. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams.
That does sound like Oprah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know. She likes saying the life of your dreams.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there. Anyway,
all right.
you go.
I always give
and avocados, but whatever.
Did you see the tag that I did on Instagram for you when
You
she
always
was
tag me when she's having avocado soup.
So
right?
she had that team of chefs serving her thing at her house the other day, and I tagged you because I'm just like, it's amazing.
Because I have to see it.
Yeah. All right. I always give myself Sundays as a spiritual base of renewal. A day when I do absolutely nothing. I sit in my jammies or take a walk, and I allow myself time to be, capital B-E, with myself.
Oh, that's annoying. That is Oprah. Oh, I'm sorry.
It
I
is.
blew the mic out.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, a little extra special Oprah for you today.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Thanks, Oprah, for that.
Well, it's nice to
what
know
point
what
was
she's
she
doing
trying to
on
make?
Sunday. She's in her jammies.
She's in her jammies. Yeah. Yeah. Way to relate to everybody, Oprah. Whatever. All right. Okay. I got one for you. Life is so great that we only get a tiny moment to enjoy everything we see. And that moment is right now. And that moment is counting down. And that moment is always, always fleeting. You will never be as young as you are right now.
Neil Pasricha.
You got it, baby. I wish we had sound effects. I'm going to start bringing those in because you deserve a nice big bell for that one.
Yes, he says that in his TED Talk. And I've always remembered it.
We're going to get him as a guest on this show.
We are, because I met him a few months ago. So
absolutely. Absolutely. So is it your turn?
No, we're done.
We're done.
We're
okay,
done.
So I
think
got
I
one.
won.
You got one.
I think I got more than one.
You got more than one. I wasn't even keeping track.
First place.
Woo!
Woo, woo.
The junkie wins.
Yep.
All right.
As she
Well, here,
does.
can I do this? I want to thank the Pod Plant and our producer, Mike Wixon. I want to thank Monkey Junk for our awesome song, You Make a Mess of Me. Or I think it's called You Make a Mess.
You Make a Mess, yeah.
You know, I try to, it's all about me. Anyway, so that's it for today.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you're Kelly Fanson.
And I'm your Susan Stewart.
And we're still
a hot mess.
You make a mess of me. You make a mess. You make a mess of me. You make a mess. You make a mess of me.
we'd like to thank our sponsor, Purple Jade Wellness Center, for your support. Thanks also to Monkey Junk, the Juno Award-winning blues band consisting of some of the best people and musicians we know. We'd also like to thank and give a 3-minute hug, because self-help says that's more meaningful, to the Podplant and Mike Wixon.
And thank you, Fanson.
And thank you, Susan.
You make a mess of me.